If you are considering purchasing the Lifeforme Yoga Mat, but you're not certain if the price tag is worth it, this video is for you. I want to share with you that I've used this yoga mat specifically for the last year, and I want to share with you my experience using the Lifeforme Yoga Mat. And I will tell you 100% without a doubt, it is worth the money for this yoga mat. If you are somebody who is decided, like, I like doing warm yoga, hot yoga, any kind of heated yoga, I will say 100% without a doubt, this yoga mat is going to change your experience in that type of a yoga class. So I am somebody who practices hot yoga. I also teach hot yoga. And I am a person who sweats in the palms of my hands and the bottom of my feet. Even if I'm not necessarily doing heated yoga, if the room is warm and you work up a little bit of a sweat as you're doing yoga, right? And that's where I sweat. I sweat my hands, I sweat my feet, sweat in the back of my neck, right? So this yoga mat, what I like about it, there's a couple things I really like about it. So I did a review of this when I first purchased it. Now I've used it for a year. So this is like my 1 year later review. The material is sticky. It's like very rubbery kind of feeling here. And so it absorbs the moisture in your hands and your feet. So you don't slide around the yoga mat. So you see back here, I've got the Manduka Pro yoga mat. That's what I was using before. I use it at home still too, but I've got a towel that I put over the top of it, a yoga towel, because my hands and my feet sweat and I'm just sliding all over the place and it gets frustrating, especially if you're doing downward facing dog and you're trying to get into that pose and if your hands are sliding all over the place, your feet are sliding all over the place, it can be frustrating. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get this yoga mat, was because of the sliding or the non-sliding factor. Now, I did a video about this when I first bought this yoga mat, that it does absorb a lot of the moisture. So you can see there's a lot of markings. I mean, some of the markings are just from wear and tear and using it, but you can see that there's like some water stains on here. So like even in the back here, you can see it, right? And I do clean the yoga mat after I use it. Um, and when I first got it, I had it in the back of my car in the trunk, and I had my hiking bag back there, had water in the bladder in the hiking bag. The bladder leaked. It got all over this yoga mat and it left a huge water stain on it. So it was absorbing all of the water from the water bladder. So I'm assuming that's how it works, is it absorbs all the moisture from your hands and your feet to avoid the slippage. So I was a little frustrated at first because I was like, I just bought this yoga mat. I spent a lot of money on it and now it's got this huge water stain on it. Okay. Well, that water stain just faded over time, but then new water stains were added just as I sweat, just during yoga class. So it definitely has some wear and tear. You can definitely see it has been used, but it's been used. It means it's doing its job. It's doing what you're supposed to do. It's what it's supposed to do for you anyways. Okay. So now each of these mats they come with fun designs. I really like the moon. I'm a big moon person. In fact, I want to get some moon decor for my setup back here, but I've got the moon decor here. There's a lot of different designs that you can get, even different colors. So like this one's blue. They also have the black one with the moons on it, that kind of thing. And then there's some markings here to help you with alignment for your feet. So just based on your height or whatever pose you're doing here, there's some markings here. This center line here helps you to keep things aligned too. So it's nice. It's a nice design, but it also helps you with alignment of your feet, your hands, that kind of thing, and different poses that you're doing. But what I will say is after a year of use, regular use, like I'm practicing yoga a couple times a week. I do hot yoga regularly. I teach hot yoga, right? Some of these are starting to wear off just a little bit. It's not too bad. But I'm noticing, so like back here, I always put the Lifeform yoga mat logo towards the back. So where my feet are always back here. So you can see where my feet are quite a bit. It's starting to wear down. And then you can see the lines are starting to wear off here as well. Okay. I mean, the yoga mat still works. It's just, you can tell it's being used and it's being used regularly, like I said, which is good. And like even this one right here, it's coming off. Like I could probably just peel that off right now. So definitely some wear and tear, but I definitely got my money's worth out of it. I still use it. I still use this regularly. So there may come a point here soon where I will probably need to purchase a new one, but it does do its job. So a couple things I did wrong probably with the yoga mat was So I keep my yoga mat in the car. Like I go to a yoga studio to practice yoga. I also practice at home. So I've got my setup back here. I've got another yoga mat over here that I use. I've got various yoga mats, whatever. This is the one that I keep in the car to take with me when I go to a yoga studio because I know I'm not going to need a towel. And some yoga studios don't provide towels. Some gyms don't provide towels. And I just want to make sure that I'm not caught off guard. So this is the one that I keep with me at all times. Now, so because this does absorb a lot of water, it absorbs all your sweat. So when you're done with the yoga class, like if you're doing a hot yoga class, you sweat all over the place, clean it off. I roll it up and then I put it in the back of my car. Well, a couple times I did that. It doesn't dry out if it's rolled up. Now I live in the desert. It's dry here. It's a dry heat, right? So, um, it's very dry here and it still doesn't, even if it's rolled up, it doesn't dry out. And then I also noticed there was a couple times it actually it got a little bit of a funk. So you want to make sure to keep it clean. Wipe it down and then don't just roll it up and leave it rolled up. What I do is because I leave it in my car, what I'll do is I'll unravel it. I'll open up my trunk. I have like a crossover vehicle. So I'll open up my trunk, I'll unravel it in my garage, and then I leave my trunk open just as it's drying, air everything out, keep it, nice and fresh, whatever. The other thing that I do is just wipe it down after yoga class, take a rag, wipe it down. You can use, a wipe, you can use some tea tree oil, things like that to help keep it clean, help keep it fresh. Manduka does make a yoga mat refresh as well. I use that on it. It's a lavender scented thing. It smells wonderful. Just gives it a little extra zhuzh to it. So that's something that I found really helps keep kind of the stench away. The feel of the yoga mat itself, it's quite sticky. So if I come into like downward facing dog is probably the biggest example that I want to share here. You come into downward facing dog. I have barefoot shoes on here. These are wonderful. These are barefoot shoes. They're fun. I love them. But you come into downward facing dog, and a lot of times when people are doing down dog, they're like this because your hands are sliding. So you try and keep your hands in place. But with downward dog, like you want to allow your neck, your head to relax, create that spinal decompression. And this sticks, okay? But now, after using this for a year, one thing I am noticing, and you can kind of see it too on the mat itself, is that like it's starting to kind of like the top layer is kind of starting to wear off maybe a little bit. So there's sometimes I've noticed maybe in the last week or two where I'm in a class and I might get on the spot and I will start sliding around. And I think it's just because like the top layer is probably starting to wear down. So like I said, after a year regular use, I would say I'm using it anywhere between 3 and 5 days a week. It's probably going to be time to purchase another one here shortly. But I will say, like, if you are somebody who's like, yes, I'm doing hot yoga. I love hot yoga. I'm going to do it regularly. And I want to make the experience a better experience and better in the sense that like you just need less stuff. You don't need to worry about towels and all that kind of stuff to bring with you. 100%, it's worth the price tag. You can do yoga without a yoga mat. That's the reality. You don't need to buy this stuff. 100%. Like it's an industry, but you know what? If a nice yoga mat makes you feel good and you want to have a fun yoga mat with fun designs, like go for it. It's totally okay. All right. So yeah, 100%. If it's worth it. You're gonna do the hot yoga thing. You love it. You sweat. 100% worth it. So I've got a link in the description for you. You can purchase the Lifeforme Yoga Mat there. It does help support this channel as well. So I'm glad to have you here. My name is Heather. I make videos about yoga, fitness, midlife longevity for those of us who are in midlife and working hard to build strong, healthy bodies that are going to support us into our 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. So I'm glad to have you here. Talk to you soon.